Hello everyone, I got this Badger garbage disposal and it's leaking. It's leaking from the bottom. So I went on YouTube and I looked around and I couldn't find anything about leaking garbage disposals from the bottom. So I decided to take it upon myself and take a look at it. So I'm going to hope you all can take one out from your sink. Because if you can't take it out from your sink, don't try this at home. Now, we have it out from the sink. We're going to remove this I don't know whatever it's called. And we're going to remove this ring. What you're going to need for the Badger is what they call an inverted torque. Now, this is a torque normally, and this one is a T30. The inverted one is torqued on the inside. Where you're going to find one, I don't know. But this one is like a B6 something. You're going to remove the 4 screws on this Badger. Oops, don't want to fall. Let me take off this thing. I've already taken this apart, but I want to share with everybody in case you get to this point and frustrated with your garbage disposal, especially if it didn't last that long and you don't want to spend the money again. And that's where I'm at. So you remove the 4 screws, and unfortunately this socket was purchased way back when for automotive use. So one more screw. And as I said earlier, I did take this apart before. Now, when you get to this point, you got the 4 screws out. You must, good recommendation, is mark the pieces with a Sharpie or something so that when you put it back together, you know exactly how you took it apart. Now, when you get to this point, you're going to need to get a big screwdriver because there's a sealant in this half that's got to be removed. And we won't need this piece right now. We'll take this out of the way. Now, when you take this apart, and I've taken this apart already, so the sealant for me is going to break loose. Keep working this and working this and working this. Slowly, slowly, it'll come apart. Now, when you get to this point, we're going to have to clean this later. We're not worried about that. Let me see here. Now, this is the chopper piece. Now, what I used is a 9/16 socket with my DeWalt Impact. And I kept hitting it, and at one point it didn't break loose. So with this still assembled, I should have done it before. I actually put a screwdriver in there, but I didn't know you could take this off. So if you take this off first, you may just get a pair of pliers and hold this, hit the nut with an impact socket, and break it loose. And take this off. This is what we got now in the garbage disposal. Now, I checked around first and tried to clean it off to see where I got a leak. I was thinking maybe my leak is in this seal. So what I did on my first attempt is, this is plumber's putty. Okay? I put a ring around the top to see if the seal in the garbage disposal is leaking. If that seal is leaking, I looked online, you can't find it. After you make some kind of a ring on the top, I put some water in there, then put the nut back on, and I slowly turned the entire motor slowly to see if the water would leave. And actually the water did not drip out from there. So, from that, I went ahead and started to take this off. I went ahead with my screwdriver and started to remove the crud. And then I noticed that right here I have pinholes and rust of this piece. Now this is the motor. They don't really have this so you can mess with it. So what I'm going to attempt to do is clean this up with a wire brush and then put a sealant on there. And then put a sealant in here, in this area, and see how that works. And that will follow up later.